Hook intro. Some heroes don't wear capes, they wear overalls. In a world where everyone's in a hurry, he was invisible, until one small act of silent generosity changed everything. The echo of sneakers on the polished floors was something James had grown used to. Every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. he pushed his mop through the winding halls of Oak Ridge High. The kids barely looked at him. To most, he was just the janitor. But James noticed everything, especially Emma. Emma was different. Bright, respectful, always the last to leave the library. James often saw her late in the evenings, nose buried in a book or typing furiously on the ancient school computer. She had ambition in her eyes and kindness in her voice. But behind her drive, James saw something else. One day, while emptying trash cans in the teacher's lounge, James overheard two teachers talking. "Got into Stanton University," one whispered. "Full admission but no scholarship," the other replied. "Single mom? No chance she can pay that kind of tuition?" James paused. His hand clenched around the trash bag. That evening, as he cleaned the classroom where Emma had once stayed late to study, he saw a paper in the bin. It was her scholarship essay, crumpled, smudged, thrown away. He picked it up, smoothed it out, and read it under the flickering light of the janitor's closet. It moved him. Her story mirrored his daughter's, a daughter he hadn't spoken to in 10 years. The college acceptance letter had been both a triumph and a heartbreak. Emma stared at the paper as her mom served dinner, a meal cobbled together, from food stamps and sacrifice. Stanton University, her dream school. But the dream had a $40,000 annual price tag. She folded the letter and slid it beneath her mattress. At school, Emma tried to stay focused. She laughed with friends, answered every question in Mr. Thomas's calculus class, and stayed late to finish assignments. But every night she felt the weight of disappointment. She had told no one she wasn't going. James watched. He saw her hesitate before throwing something into the trash. He later found torn-up pamphlets from Stanton. The girl who always seemed so strong was giving up. One evening as she walked past him, he nodded. "Hard day?" he asked quietly. Emma paused, surprised he spoke. "Just tired," she smiled. "That's all?" He nodded again, returning to his mop. But that night, James didn't sleep. He opened an old lockbox from under his bed. Inside were faded photos, bills, and a savings envelope he'd been growing for years. He had saved for a camper he always dreamed of buying when he retired. But tonight he wondered if maybe dreams could be borrowed and given to someone else. James had never been a wealthy man. In fact, he had barely gotten by. But he lived simply. No fancy meals, no cable TV, no vacations. Every dollar he didn't spend went into that envelope. Over 15 years, it had grown to nearly $45,000. It wasn't easy. He had skipped meals, worked extra shifts, and even repaired other people's homes on weekends. But now it had a purpose. He spent days trying to find the right way to do it. He couldn't just hand her the money. That would raise questions. She might even refuse it. So he spoke to the guidance counselor, anonymously. "There's a student," he said, voice disguised with a handkerchief. "She's got a dream and no money. I'd like to cover her tuition." Quietly. The counselor hesitated. "Are you a relative?" "Just someone who believes in her," James replied. He mailed the envelope with the check to the university's finance department with instructions. "Apply to the account of Emma R. This is for her full tuition. She must never know who sent it." Emma was sitting on the front steps of her apartment when the mail came. A large envelope with the Stanton University logo sat on top of the stack. Her heart sank. Another rejection of her appeal for financial aid, she assumed, but when she opened it, her eyes widened. "Congratulations. Your tuition has been paid in full. An anonymous donor has gifted you a full ride." Tears streamed down her face. Her mom hugged her tight. "Who would do this?" she whispered. At school the next day, Emma was glowing. Her friends cheered. Teachers clapped. She even brought cookies for the staff. When she passed James in the hallway, she smiled wider than ever. "Good day?" he asked. "The best," she replied. "Someone out there believed in me." He nodded. "That's all it takes." Then he turned and pushed his cart down the hallway, fading into the shadows. Emma's first day at Stanton was overwhelming. She took photos, posted them online, and called her mom every night. But in the quiet moments, she still wondered, who had seen her, helped her, saved her dream? Meanwhile, back at Oak Ridge High, James was still mopping the same floors, fixing the same light bulbs, and sweeping the same leaves. He watched new seniors come in, fresh hopes glowing in their eyes. He wondered how many other Emmas were out there. One afternoon, he found another scholarship essay in the trash. He picked it up, read it, and smiled.